everybody, it's Dreadlocks here from Black Hair Compass, and I'm coming to you guys with an update on some changes to my hair care routine. So a couple of months ago, I think around month 3 or 4, I told you guys that I was going to be embarking on water only washing, and I guess I really shouldn't say embarking because I was going to be revisiting water only washing from which was a habit of mine from while I was a loose natural. And for several months, like 3 or 4 months, I had really good results with it, but ultimately I decided that I am going to not be doing the water only washing anymore, and there are some legitimate reasons that are going into that. One of them is that I just realized that I was doing it unconsciously at first, but I would just kind of be like, scratch my head, and then like 2 minutes later, like scratch somewhere else. And that had been going on for a while, and then one day I started paying attention to it and realized that I had, you know, been scratching my scalp. It wasn't like a ferocious itching like all over my scalp, but you know, I would scratch here, scratch there. And then I realized like that's not normal for me. I usually don't have an itchy scalp, so I was like, I think that maybe I need to start using soap again, because I didn't experience an itchy scalp while I was water only washing as a loose natural. I had also been kind of feeling like perhaps I need to stop water only washing because if you guys watched my video on how I would go about water only washing, which would be to turn the shower spout so that it would be kind of like a high beam of water, I started to feel like perhaps I needed to buy a detachable shower head so that I could have a little bit more control over where the water pressure was going on my scalp to be a little bit more effective. But because I currently live in an apartment, I don't think that I can replace the shower head that is in there. So that wasn't an option for me, and I was kind of like, I think I would really need that to be successful with this. But nonetheless, I just, you know, kept on doing my thing. And then ultimately I just was like, you know, this is not working for me. I shouldn't be having an itchy scalp. I shouldn't, like, I did notice that sometimes I would have some buildup on my scalp. Not anything crazy, because I would look all over my scalp and I wouldn't really see much. But there would be some spots specifically near my hairline where I would notice, like, you know, I had some just buildup that I usually do not see. So in the end, I just decided to reintroduce soap into my regimen. I started to think about it, and I was like, why did I have such success with this as a loose natural, but I'm having kind of like some ups and downs with it as a locked hair natural? And I realized that one of the main differences is that while I was a loose natural, I was water only washing my hair every 3 to 4 days because I had to, because I was using the water to be the base for my styling. I would always do braid outs, and they would last me for about 3 or 4 days before I would need to reset the braid out. So that would mean I'd have to get in the shower, wet my hair, and if I'm wetting my hair, I might as well just go ahead and water wash it too. So that's what I was doing. Every 3 to 4 days, I was water washing my hair, and that worked. But once I got locks, it just, especially as my locks started to thicken, it wasn't as feasible to completely saturate my hair every 3 to 4 days, because as they started to get thicker and become more dense, it would take longer and longer for them to dry. So I kind of started to, I wasn't consciously thinking about it, but I wasn't wetting my hair as often, and therefore I wasn't water only washing my hair as often. So that was one of the reasons that I think went into making it not as successful as it was before. So what does this mean for me going forward? So I am going to go back to using Dr. Bronner soap. Originally, I was turned off by Dr. Bronner soap because of how stripping and drying it was in my hair. But as you guys know, if you followed my vlogs, while I was in Hawaii, I had to use the soap, and I decided to follow it up with with the Dr. Bronner's hair rinse, and it was like night and day. So when I used the soap by itself, completely stripping, over drying. I've never used a clarifying shampoo, but I'm fairly certain that the Dr. Bronner soap behaves like a clarifying shampoo in that it is very stripping. But when I paired it with the hair rinse that the company suggests that you use, which is kind of like I should have been doing that from the beginning. But anyway, when I used it with the hair rinse, it was like night and day. Like my hair was not dry. it didn't have that stripped feeling to it. And what I really love about the organic hair rinse is that it's a solution that they sell. It's a solution, and you put about like you put a cap full inside of your applicator bottle or whatever you're using, and you fill the rest of it up with water. So it's very loose. It's very watery in its texture, and I don't have any concerns about any buildup from this because it's so thin. It has such a thin consistency, so I'm not concerned about buildup. And even though it was very thin, it was very effective in kind of bringing the pH level of my hair back down to normal, and also just making it so that my hair didn't feel so stripped afterwards. I took some time to really look at what is exactly in these products, and for the soap, and before I get into the products, I wanted to address I will not be introducing oil into my hair regimen, at least not yet. Because at first, like I said, I was doing Dr. Bronner soap with oil, and it was making, the Dr. Bronner soap was making it too dry, and I had concerns about oil having buildup in my hair. So I removed the oil and the soap, did water only washing. Now I am reintroducing soap and using their follow-up hair rinse, and I am not yet going to introduce oil because I'm not entirely sure that I need it. But that's open for, not necessarily up for debate, but I'm going to be keeping an eye on my hair, and if I find that I need to reintroduce oil, I will do so, but I'm not going to do that right now. I'm thinking that I probably won't need to, because I started to review what is exactly in these products, and if I look at this soap, the first ingredient is water, which is good. It's a water-based product, which means it's water soluble. And then the next thing is coconut oil. Then the next product is, or ingredient is, kernel oil, olive oil, cherry blossom fragrance, hemp oil, jojoba oil, citric acid, and tocopherol. This is a whole lot of oils in this soap. And then I did the same review of the citrus organic hair rinse, and it's the same thing. The first ingredient is lemon juice, which by the way is really good for shocking the cuticles of the hair closed, so it makes sense as to why the first ingredient in here is lemon juice. Then the next ingredient is lemon oil, orange oil, coconut oil, palm kernel oil, olive oil, hemp oil. All this to say, there is a lot of oils in this soap and this hair rinse. So that's why I'm a little bit hesitant to add yet even more oils, because there's already oils in these products. So I'm gonna see how my hair fares with just using these products and not using oil. And then if it works, I'll continue to do that. If I find that it's not suitable, then I'll consider reintroducing oil. But for right now, my new regimen is use a Dr. Bronner soap. I will wash my hair the day that I retwist, which is every 6 weeks. I will follow it up with this hair rinse, and on the days in between then, I will spritz my hair with water daily in the morning. And if for whatever reason I get involved in some really heavy activity and it causes me to sweat, then I'll go in the shower and I'll allow my hair to water rinse there, and I'll just allow the water to rinse away the sweat, but I'll actually use a soap when I'm gonna retwist my hair, which is every 6 weeks. So I hope this guy clears this up for you guys about what my regimen is. I'm sorry if I disappointed some of you. I know I had quite a few people really rooting for me to have a successful experience with water only washing on my locks, and I really would have liked to, but above all, I have to be honest, not only with myself but with my viewers too, about what it is that I'm doing with my hair. And I know I said I would do the water only washing, and I was raving about it because I was having good results from it, but after a while I wasn't having good results, and I can't put anything over the health of my hair. If I'm doing something that's not in line with healthy hair practices, then I need to change it, and I just found that it wasn't really suitable for my locks. While I loved it as a loose natural, should I ever return to loose natural, I will water only wash, but it's just not appropriate for my locks. So anyway, thanks for tuning in, and I will see you guys next time.